Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle something that can be a real headache for so many people, the bar chart. We're going to completely transform that moment of confusion, when you're just staring at a wall of data, and turn it into a moment of pure clarity. Let's get right into it. Picture this. You're in a test, the clock's ticking away, and then you see it. A chart just packed with bars, labels, and numbers. Your heart starts pounding a little, right? That wave of panic hits and you think, where do I even start? It's such a common feeling, but it's one we are absolutely going to fix right now. So, here's the secret, the number one thing you need to know. A great analysis is not a laundry list of every single number on the chart. Nope, it's about finding the story that's hidden in the data. Your job is to become a data storyteller, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. All right, first things first, let's take a closer look at the challenge itself so we know exactly what we're dealing with. Okay, take a look at this. This is a pretty standard bar chart, right? It's showing club membership for folks between 20 and 30. At first glance, it seems fine, but the real challenge kicks in when you have to compare it with another group. Suddenly, things can get messy, fast. Don't worry, we're gonna come back to this exact chart later and break it all down piece by piece. So, how do we handle a chart like that? Well, it all starts up here in your head. It's about getting the right mindset. Before you write a single word, you have to start thinking like a data analyst. Think of this as your foundational toolkit. A real analyst doesn't just see a bunch of individual bars. They see the big picture. First, they're looking for patterns, not just random details. Second, they group things together logically to build a clear story. Third, they use specific, powerful words. And finally, they stick to the facts. No personal opinions, just what the data is telling them. And on the flip side, let's talk about what not to do. These are the biggest traps. First, don't describe every single bar one by one by one. Another huge mistake, drowning your analysis in way too many numbers. And this one is so important, never ever ignore what the labels on the axes are telling you. If you can just avoid these traps, you are already way ahead of the game. Okay, you've got the mindset locked in. Next up, your vocabulary. Seriously, having the right words is like unlocking a superpower. It's what turns a simple observation into a really powerful insight. For instance, when you're comparing things, it's so easy to just say bigger or smaller. But that's kind of boring, isn't it? Instead, use more dynamic words like surpassed or lagged behind. See how that just paints a much more vivid, interesting picture of what's going on? And when you're talking about parts of a whole, pieces of the pie, you need words that really explain their role in the story. So phrases like accounted for, constituted, or made up are fantastic for showing how different pieces add up to the total. What about charts that show changes over time? Well, your vocabulary needs to capture that movement. Did the numbers climb steadily? Did they decline sharply? Or maybe they plateaued for a while? Using these action verbs really brings the data to life. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. The before example is just two separate, boring facts. The after version uses that dynamic vocabulary to tell a story of real growth. That is the power of using the right words. Mindset? Check. Vocabulary? Check. Now you need a structure. Let's walk through a simple but super effective 4-step game plan for your response. This structure is so simple and logical. You start with an intro where you just rephrase what the chart is about in your own words. Then you give a 1-sentence overview, the main story. After that, you've got 2 body paragraphs where you dive into the details, grouping them logically. That's it. That's the whole shebang. Okay, step 1, your introduction. This is your first impression. So rule number 1, don't just copy the title, paraphrase it. Just clearly state what the chart is showing, what categories are involved, and what the time period is. Simple, clear, direct. Now for step 2, the overview. And listen up, because this might be the single most important sentence you write. This is your main takeaway, the headline story. What's the one big thing that jumps out at you? Say that. And here's a pro tip. No specific numbers yet, just the biggest, most obvious trend. All right, enough with the theory. We've got the mindset, we've got the words, and we've got the game plan. Now let's put it all into practice with that club membership chart we saw at the beginning. Here we go. Step 1, the introduction.
See how this clearly states what the data is, membership distribution, and the two specific age groups we're comparing? It's simple, it's direct. Perfect.
Next up, step 2, the overview. This sentence is pure gold. It gets right to the main story. Notice, no numbers. We immediately understand the core difference. Younger members like certain clubs, and the older members like different ones. That's our headline.
Now, before we write the first body paragraph, we're gonna do a little prep work. We'll pull out the key numbers for our first group, the 20 to 30-year-olds. We're not listing everything, just the most significant points. What's the highest, what else is popular, and what's at the very bottom. Okay, now we take those data points and we weave them into a nice, clean paragraph. We start with the highest value, arts and crafts, and then we group the other popular clubs together. By focusing on just one group at a time, the whole analysis stays focused and super easy to follow. Now for the second group, we repeat the exact same process for the 45 to 65 age group. We identify the highest, the other popular clubs, and the lowest memberships. This gives us all the ammo we need for our second paragraph. And here's the final paragraph. We use a great transition like, on the other hand, to signal that we're switching gears. We present the key data for this group, and just like that, our analysis is complete. It's logical, and it tells a compelling story. So there you have it. You've got the mindset, you've got the vocabulary, and you have the 4-step game plan to tackle any bar chart that comes your way. The next time you see one, don't see a challenge, see a story that's just waiting to be told. The only question left is, what story will you uncover?